Linda McAvan, hello and welcome. It was a very important day yesterday. You worked since months, if not years, on a new tobacco regulation. Would you say this was a success or not yesterday, and why?
Well, I'm quite satisfied with the outcome. I didn't get everything I wanted. I didn't lose everything I wanted, so it was a kind of vote down the middle for a modest but important step forward for tobacco control in Europe.
So first, what did you get?
Well, the key aim of the new law is to stop tobacco companies recruiting a new generation of smokers by launching gimmicky products aimed at young people. And what we got yesterday was some of those products will disappear from the market. Flavoured cigarettes, chocolate cigarettes, strawberry cigarettes, perfume packages which are particularly designed to attract young girls into smoking. They will disappear from the market in a few years' time, and we'll get big picture warnings on cigarettes on roll your own tobacco.
So slim cigarettes, they're still on the market. They will continue to be on the market. Menthol cigarette will continue. Mint flavored cigarettes will continue to be on the market.
Yes, they will stay on the market. The ministers agree on that. But the slim packages that people are complaining about, the lipstick packages, perfume, they will not be allowed, because not only are they, I think, misleading for in a presentational way, but they also mean you can't see the warnings. They're designed to be invisible. So they will disappear. On the menthol, the ministers want a phase out. It's been a much shorter phase out. So we have to talk to the ministers and see if we can find a compromise.
On the warning, the question, the first proposal was about 75%, you're down to 65%. Is this again an agreement to see with the ministers afterwards in the future negotiation what can be reached?
On the size of the warnings, ministers have already got their own position and they agreed 65%. Now that Parliament has said 65%, I think we will stop there. And that's what the agreement will end up being, 65%. I would have preferred bigger warnings, but it's democracy. I didn't get the majority, but it's still a big step forward because there'll be 65% warnings at the top of the packages. Very important, because it means there'll be the thing you'll see when you buy the cigarettes.
Another compromise was reached on e-cigarettes. They will not be sold in pharmacies. There is a new agreement here. Could you explain us a bit more about it?
Well, there was a vote yesterday about how to regulate e-cigarettes. I keep seeing people saying the EU wants to ban e-cigarettes. Nobody's trying to ban them. The question is, how do you make sure that e-cigarettes on the market are good quality, that they're not marketed to young people as gateway products? And this was what the discussion was about. There was never a suggestion, by the way, that e-cigarettes should only be sold in pharmacies. That's because in some countries, not my country, for example, you can buy pharmaceutical products in many shops, in supermarkets, in garages. You can buy paracetamol tablets. This is a national law issue. The EU law is simply about how to regulate the e-cigarettes. There was a difference of opinion. We now have to talk to the ministers because they have a different opinion from Parliament now. We have to find a compromise.
So what will be the next step precisely? Could you give us a time frame for it?
The next steps are that MEPs now must sit down with the ministers in the next few weeks. We will have a series of meetings and we will look issue by issue at where we agree, where we need more discussions, and then there will be a compromise reached between ministers and MEPs, and that will be put back to the European Parliament. I can't give you a precise timetable. It depends how long it takes to get those negotiations up and started and how long it takes to reach agreement. But I'm hoping to reach agreement by Christmas.
It was a very long time to reach these different agreements, at least here at the European Parliament. There was always a question of lobbies being present, very present during this negotiation. Were you contacted? Are you on this famous list of MEPs which are just linked to lobbies, were approached by lobbies?
I think all MEPs would have been approached by lobbyists. As a rapporteur, we followed very carefully the guidelines on how to deal with the tobacco lobby. And so we had a public hearing where they were able to come and present their views, and that was it. That was the end of my discussions with the tobacco industry.
Linda McAvan, thanks a lot for this interview. The bell's ringing, votes are starting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.